It's live, pal. You're watching my favorite YouTube channel. I am Chillmonger. The question on today, what should I buy? I have money that's gone to certain different things in the entertainment field. I cover a lot of stuff here. What should I buy? Where does my dollars need to go? What can I be supporting, whether it's in the comic book world or whether it's in the movie world, streaming services as well? There's going to be stuff that I'm going to cover. It's going to be for your entertainment. I'm asking, what should I buy? So that is why this is a live stream rather than an individual video or playback video. The the things I know I'm spending my money on are Monica Rambeau, Photon, issue number one, that two, three, four, five. My money's going there, Pookie World. I'm reading that comic book, that limited series. When that's done, where does my money go after? What's happening over on DC? If they reboot Static season two, I'm there. I'll read that comic book. I might even feel comfortable enough to cover it. I didn't feel comfortable covering Static, Icon, and Rocket. Blood, what was it called? Syndicate, Hardware. To me, I know so little. There's no, you know what? I could offer my experience on those comic books. I can't offer any insight or anything after that. Ironheart, most definitely. I read every comic issue of that. And if she gets a series reboot, which I would expect with the series coming out, Marvel's going to say, oh, we're doing something there. Let's do something in our comics. They'll do a two-part limited series for her because, they're not really invested in her. They think diversity is like a, never mind. That's not the point of this video. That's something I'd be picking up in the comic book world. The X-Men, if Jordan D. White is no longer the senior editor at that company, I'll be there. If Hickman returns to finish up what he started, I'll be back on the X-Men, right, Basco? You're an X-Men guy. Got all these. I remember watching that live stream. You were just going through your collection. Oh, this was the good stuff. I remember here. Oh, she first appeared in this issue. I'd love to be part of that world of the X-Men again. I just feel like it's a lot of filler material. No one's really moving forward. That goes for Spider-Man. That goes for a lot of things. Canada's very own. Oh, you're sober, Tony. Good to see you. This man was drinking on Twitter yesterday. But technically that would be today, wouldn't it? Hasn't crossed midnight yet. Let's see here. Movie-wise, every DC film, Shazam, Blue Beetle, Aquaman, and the other one that I'm forgetting, there was supposed to be four. I'll be in Flash. Whew, I'm checking out all of them, covering all of them. DC burning questions. I'll be more fun. I'll give in. I'll get some more DC burning question streams going out there. It won't be always Marvel because there was like a good little stretch where holy smokes, every Saturday I was talking Marvel, maybe one Star Wars, and then it's back to Marvel all over again. I can diversify. Anime burning questions can come. Canada burning questions is not going to happen. We're not doing that, but we're definitely going to. Avatar burning questions? Yeah. Pro wrestling burning questions. Why not? Pokemon burning questions? Let me talk to Rhea. We'll definitely have that going. Diesel. Guys, answer the question. What should I buy? My money is going to certain comic books, and there's certain that they're not going to. Maybe issue one of the big Marvel event I'll check out, cover here. It's good for traction. It's something that people will be interested in. People who are not viewers, it's a good way to grow an audience. So whatever the first issue of the next summer event is, I'll be there. It just makes sense. Every other hero though, not really interested. Black Panther, if they reboot it this year and we get a new writer, I'll check out the Black Panther. He and Monica Rambeau are worth it. Literally anybody else are not worth it. Pickle, he says Killmonger hates women and diversity. What? What does that have anything to do with? And first of all, how did you know that? I have no idea what he means by that. I disavow the philosophical pickle, the herbivore that he is, who we made a bet that if Wakanda forever makes $1 billion, I would have to eat grass. And I said, you know what? It's not even going to make 900 million. They're getting close. They're at 800 million, but we're at the end of its theatrical release. Kita says Happy New Year. Video game burning questions. So like the week Grand Theft Auto comes out, I could do that. Yo, that's not a bad idea. These deals remind me about that when Grand Theft Auto comes out. I would love to do something like that because I've played, not completed, but I've played every one of them. Video game questions. I like it. Um, yeah, see, if anything we gained from this live stream, it was that comment there. Avatar 2, that's coming out next in 2 years, so we're not gonna get that covered here on this show. What else could I cover? Where can I my money go? Don't worry, I'm gonna eat that grass when I come back. Pickle's on a little break from YouTube, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be checking his videos out, especially the body count, where you get to watch Darth Vader kill everyone he's ever killed in a movie. That's cool. Mm, DC Comics, independent comics. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with independent comics. Not interested. That doesn't mean that they're bad. It means I'm not interested. What I want to do with my money if I'm gonna buy a comic is know that it's going somewhere, knowing that my money leads to that place ascending. Marvel and DC, if I pay money for Black Panther, then I am raising that character's stock and I see the value in that. Let's just make up a company now. Let's just pretend that Pickle has a comic book company called, Pickles. And he turns people into vegetables. That's the hero's power, but he only uses it against villains. That's a cool concept that the philosophical pickle, some dude in Texas, has. And I could give him $10, buy his comic book, and support him. But what happens with that franchise? Does it get picked up by Amazon? No, that's what like Image Comics Invincible does. And they're not going to do that with every freaking comic book. There's such a low percentage that this comic goes anywhere. If I really just want to read a comic to turn pages and be entertained every single art panel, then I'd buy that comic. But that's not why I buy comics. That's not only why I bought comics. Yes, the entertainment value, but it's also to change the world, to progress. Independent comics are not my thing. I poorly explained that, but if I came across and it makes sense, then it makes sense. Next on the topic, manga, anime. Bro, Naruto episodes and Boruto episodes have so much filler. It's hard to cover. I can't give them my money. They lost my money. I'm at like an episode 150 right now of Boruto, and I went on one of those filler guides. 3/4 of this show is filler content. So I'm just not even gonna watch these fillers. You disagree with that, Diesel, about my little comic book independent analysis? That's how I feel. Independent comics, and everyone who's got one, and everyone who's asking for money for independent comics, you gotta show me a plan. You gotta make me believe. Now, if Milestone Media and what they did in the 90s happened today, I'd support it. I'd get it. There was hope and promise. Yeah, DC pulled the rug under them, but there was I saw progression or I saw this ascension, this upward slope, and that's why I could support something like the Milestone Media, that era. But if your best friend makes a comic book, yeah, I mean, I gotta support you because you're my friend, but am I interested really? Where should my dollars go to make the most impact? Because if I buy 10 issues of the most recent Monica Rambeau comic series, I know I'm telling Marvel, use her, she's worth money. I know she'll show up in Avengers. I know that many people will be exposed to her, and that is a positive thing, and the effects of that are great. I mean, for me, when Image first popped off, that was a big deal. They forced Marvel DC to step their game up. Image, thumbs up. Philadelphia, Rodney Barnes, thumbs up. I guess they are independent then. That is worthwhile. But you can see the difference between Image, what they did with the staff that they had, which were Marvel and the biggest hitters. They just robbed. Jim Lee was a part of Image. Rob Liefeld. That is significant. That is worth getting behind. Image Comics, whoa. 90s when comics were hot and they weren't expensive as they are now. Bro, I'd be reading a lot more Marvel if it wasn't so expensive. But yeah, a $4 a comic book for something that is irrelevant. No, especially from when they get a writer who's not really a Marvel writer. They get them from outside, make them do a story, then they go away. And I'm reading this story with my favorite heroes, and it's these writers who are not part of Marvel, and going, bro, what is wrong? Why do they leave and never do the Avengers book or the Thor book or the Hulk book? Because Donny Cates is still here, running all those very fine white characters who I don't hate. But the benefit of having Donny Cates there is that he's going to further the stories that he started in Silver Surfer when he's writing Venom. And when he's done writing Venom, don't worry, because the stuff that's happening right now in Thor may be included in there. Jason Aaron was just doing Thor. Some of that stuff is going to be included in the Avengers. The Black Panther doesn't get that privilege. It's such malarkey. What's going on, T-Virus, Terrence? Dark Horse, Valiant, Boom Studios, IDW also make good comics. Talk to me when Boom Studios pays their artists. Thank you for all the good conversations. Thank you for listening. The comic book stuff, I've been hurt so much by the big two, so they're not going to get my interest, my dollars, unless they're doing something significant. Marvel Voices is not significant, man. I'm still undecided on whether I'll buy it. I was talking to my local comic shop the last time I was there about the February Black History Month special edition of Marvel. It's called Voices Wakanda. And I told him, hey, don't get me this comic. I know you were gonna, don't. Because what's the point? What's gonna happen in this comic? It's gonna be 5 little short stories. All the heroes will be black. So, there's not even gonna be a Black Panther series in like 3 months. What's the point, really? This entire era of we'll do celebrations every single February where we do short stories. We'll hire artists and writers who are they're black, which is good. That's a positive thing. But their stories are going nowhere. Nothing's being furthered. Nothing that's ever happened at a Black History Month comic, the one-time specials, really moved forward anywhere else. I've never read a Black Panther, and they say, well, to understand what's going on, make sure you read the Black History Month comic. They're just little short stories that are irrelevant. They say they're canon. I mean, they are canon. You can say that they're canon. But so what if nothing happens afterwards addressing Marvel Voices Black History Month special? There's silent voices. If a tree makes a voice in the forest and it drops, did anyone hear it? My George W. Bush, fool me, can't fool me again. That didn't make any sense, but you get what I mean. Dynamite is also good. Too bad the Tribe no longer exists. I don't know what the Tribe is. The Tribe Called Quest? I'm not sure what that is. Some of the comic book stuff in Marvel are doomed from the beginning, and I gotta stop supporting those. I'd rather buy 2 issues of Monica Rambeau than 1 issue of just pick a hero that they claim to care about but don't actually. Zangbeto. Who the hell are these people? I'm getting a lot of new subscribers. Zangbeto. What's going on, Zangbeto? What country of origin is the name Zangbeto from? Cool. Canadian. He says, obviously, the answer is to support the genius Tyler Perry and his masterpiece movies. I do. Everything that they shoot at Marvel was happening over in his warehouse studio. So I support Tyler Perry in that way. What I've been doing over these last few years is rereading stuff that I read years ago. Bro, exactly. Why not? I've got a hell of a collection just over there to the side. And what I could be doing is reading some of those good stuff, some of the nice stuff, especially the older stories, because they've been releasing those in big collections, and I've been buying those at least. I could read those. You know, the older a comic book story is, the more relevant it is, because all the writers who grew up reading comics, they can't wait to talk about Kraven the Hunter all over again, so they're gonna go to the Kraven batch and they're gonna further that story. They don't really necessarily care about the run that just happened prior to them taking the job. Old comic books are where it's at. Reading stuff for the first time. Stuff for the first time stink though. Let's be real. And you don't really actually know that it's going to last and have a ramifications. You can actually rule out Captain America, the United States of Cap 5 issue limited series. If you purchase that comic expecting those characters to still be here, I don't know what to tell you. There's a bridge that I want to sell you. But so you can rule out exactly all the comics that they're going to come out that are useless. Don't ever buy those. I know when you were a kid, you used to read a lot. That's what's up. I'm gonna actually show you the current Marvel Wikipedia, and let's share that screen. Comics fell off. I got back on, kept doing that for a while. As of 2019, I started reading again more consistently. That's good, and that's sort of around the time I started reading more consistently. I just don't. Ooh, I need to change that background to all white. Yeah, look at me, all professional. So this is the list of Marvel comics on Wikipedia. I visit it frequently. Can you read that? Alien, not reading. It's not canon. It's just some next, Elseworld. The All Out Avengers, which is finishing in March, so it's highlighted. I don't care. This seems like it's one of those alternate universe stuff. The Amazing Spider-Man. I'll pick up issues based on covers. I'll pick up issues if something happens of significance or they at least advertise it and I fall for it. But right now, I'm not reading the dark web stuff. And right now, I don't think that Amazing Spider-Man is moving forward. Dude can't marry Mary Jane. He's kind of in a rut. He is static. His surrounding characters may have things that progress, but the Amazing Spider-Man himself is stuck. Avengers is a dead series because Jason Aaron is leaving this in 3 months. Avengers Forever. Same thing I told you before. Alternate universe doesn't matter. Bro, we are like 5 in. Nothing matters. The Black Panther is ending. I am reading these comics. At least the covers are cool. But because he's the Black Panther, I feel like I have to read this. It's the Black Panther. I can't tell Marvel that he's not worth. I can't tell Marvel, hey, you should put the best writers that you have on the Black Panther, but also not read it. I need to be reading the Black Panther for that to be a valid complaint that I have. Chill, the older the comics are a million times better. It's rare that the newer comics are worth the time of day. You and I know what the golden era means. Remember the olden days where they used to have a whole complete story in one issue instead of having stretch everything to 6? That happens way too often. It's so unsatisfying. And their comics are shorter nowadays. That's what I've been doing. The best comic material in the past, in my opinion, not even that far back, like 10 years. I started reading comics in 2018. I got my Marvel Unlimited app, and I was buying Invincible Iron Man, which had Riri in it, Champion stuff, and I thought, wow, I'm making a difference here. Let's see where these characters go. After that era, maybe 2020, those characters just gave up on them. Every time I would get interested, Swordmaster, Arrow, oh cool, we got Chinese heroes. Let me be a part of this. They stopped telling their stories. They're gone. And I could see the starts and stops, and I could see the way that the comic book company Marvel, at least, operate. They think that I'm not going to insult them. I'll just say that I got to be picky with where my money goes, because if I knew where Swordmaster was going, I did not have picked up Swordmaster issues at all. I'd rather have saved my money. Maybe bought a Shang-Chi comic book, because I know that's being pushed. The character, the franchise of Shang-Chi, I get it. And I'd rather be part of that success than be invested in Swordmaster. Now I have a few issues of Swordmasters in this pull box over here, off to the side of the camera. I don't want to show you my dirty floor, but it's here. And I wish they weren't there. I'm looking at that like that's $12 or however many issues I got. That's a lot of money that I could have used on Monica Rambeau Photon and made it so that a black woman is in that top 20 list of the heroes is featured. It's not just T'Challa and Storm and 18 other white characters. You got another one in there. My cousins had practically everything. Just these giant shelves of comics, Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, Image. At first, I would read based on the covers, of course, and then you just love it, and you go, oh, I know this writer. If he wrote that, I'll probably like this. That's how I became a Jason Aaron fan. You're a 4-year-old in comic terms. It's all good. Yeah, I'm a 4-year-old, but Marvel Unlimited allows you to read so many that I have accelerated growth like a clone in Star Wars. Let's see. Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. Now, this series and this series, Symbol of Truth, they will unite and have a crossover event. That's one of those where I will read issue number 1 of and let you know how I feel about Captain America's plural. I don't care that Falcon calls himself Cap now. He's Falcon. Oh, I like how the Wikipedia actually, it goes straight to the Falcon page. If there's 2 characters with the same name, I'm sorry, but the one, never mind. We did this last Saturday. Let's not do it again. In comes Captain Marvel, written by Kelly Thompson. Not insulting it, pretty cool stuff. Just don't want to buy it because I don't care for Carol Danvers that much. She's cool, just don't care that much. Not enough to buy it when money's tight. If I was, shoot, thousands, if I was richer, if I had double the amount of money I have today without getting into my bank and without poor baiting, because I know that YouTube streamers are not supposed to do that. If I had double the money I owned, I'd be getting some Captain Marvel. Here comes Carnage. No. I know exactly how behind Carnage they are. I think it's a miracle that Venom got to the place he is in that position that Venom is in. And for it to happen again with Carnage, another sub Spider-Man franchise, would be rare. It's got a good writer in there. This guy, hey, he's qualified to write Ms. Marvel, isn't he? Don't you gotta match the backgrounds? Why isn't he writing Ms. Marvel? Oh, it's because you gotta be you gotta be a cheap writer also. That's why. Here comes Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky, Mark Cuccietta. Devil's Reign was cool. I hear this run is great. Is he black? Is Daredevil pushing forward representation? Catholic representation? But that's not my interest. I'm sorry, you guys. The New Warriors era with Mark Bagley. That's pretty cool, yeah. My first comics were the Tales from the Crypt, Vault of War. You're going back. I grew up on Cloak and Dagger. Bro, where Cloak and Dagger today? Where they had a freeform, but because Kevin Feige wasn't behind that show, there will not be pushed. Cloak and Dagger could be something. Move them out of New York, maybe, as I would recommend for a bunch of heroes. Make them their own thing. Hire a good writer on them, a top tier writer on them. See what happens. They actually have some sort of like small fan base, and they have a historical history. People resonate with the Cloak and Dagger team. My money would go there. I definitely support that. Let's go and read some more of these comics. I could be quicker. Daredevil's cool. Deadpool is cool. Not reading both. The Fantastic Four. Maybe issue number 1. Actually, issue number 1 already came out and I didn't read it. So I guess that's my answer. No, I'm not reading Fantastic Four. The Ghost Rider. Yeah, they're on volume 10 of these things. Nah, never was my thing. The Hulk. I'll pick up issues here and there. Immortal X-Men, no, because Jordan D. White. Iron Man, yeah. I'll look at whatever Riri's around. I'll be buying those comic books. Invincible Iron Man gets a thumbs up for me. The Legion of X, no. Marauders, no. Miles, secondary Spider-Man, not progression. Glass ceiling ahead of him. Definitely not something I want to support and tell the company he is your way to get people who are black or Latino represented in this company. No. But just like I'm giving him a no for representation's sake, it's similar to Miracle Man. But I don't want Miracle Man to be a hit character. You guys have enough whites who are in this position. You guys are doing great with all the characters that you have. I don't want to support Miracle Man because I know that, let me word this correctly. It may be too late because you can always clip what I said. I said whites. What I look to do with my money, my dollars, is to add to the progression of a character. I recognize that Marvel's echelon of characters is Spider-Man, Wolverine, Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Thor. You get a whole bunch of white guys until you reach Black Panther, more white guys until you reach Storm, and then we get a little more diverse down there. I don't want to have Miracle Man. I don't want to have more white people up here rather than people who aren't white. Let me get some Shang-Chi up there. Let me get some Ms. Marvel up there. Let me get some, who's another hero that's not white from another background that's not just a black character. I can't think of one, but who's Latino that's popular? Reptile? I want that to be diversified and not down here, up there. I don't feel Miracle Man, even though they're putting Neil Gaiman on him. And I can take the hint, guys. I understand when you put Neil Gaiman on a character, what you feel about him. And when you put a nobody on Kamala Khan's comic books, I know what you feel about her. Marvel, I get the hint. But I just don't want to contribute. I don't want to be part of that. The list. I don't want to, by default, if I put Neil Gaiman up here, I guess Black Panther goes down because Miracle Man Neil Gaiman is that more important, that much more highlighted. Moon Knight, don't much care for this character. This series didn't help either. Man, I'm sorry, TJ, but I will not be reading Moon Knight. Predator is not canon to the MCU, the Marvel Comics universe. Savage Avengers, nothing's ever happened in a Savage Avengers that I had to read about. I know where this stands. Useless. The She-Hulk character, yeah, again, just like Moon Knight, the show didn't much help to get me into her. I know she's part of the Avengers, and that's nice. You guys have Rainbow Rowell writing the series, so I know what you think about the series. Rainbow Rowell will not still be Oh, they put a picture for her? Nice. They put a picture for her, Charles Soule, Dan Slott. Rainbow, you got a picture. Look at you. I know what you feel about She-Hulk when you put a writer who is not. Look at the names right next to it. Dan Slott. So, no. Spider-Man by Dan Slott. This is not the Amazing Spider-Man. It's probably less important. I'll pick up things if I hear stuff because he's Spider-Man and he's that important. But no. Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. They're not canon, basically. Strange, Doctor Strange. It's back to him. It's no longer Clea. Don't care. Thor. Venom. White characters. Shout out to them. I'll pick up if I'm interested. Look, Ram V is writing a white character again. Ram V. Here comes Wolverine. Very popular character. Things that happen here will probably a higher chance that the things that happen in a Wolverine book will still matter later on. So it's not a throwaway. But the thing is, the X-Men editor is Jordan D. White, and I cannot support anything this guy's part of. What I will do is rush back to the X-Men comics when that editor is no longer the editor there. So no to X-Force, X-Men, X-Men Legends, X-Men Red. Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain. These are upcoming series. Why the hell would I support Captain Britain when it's not Betsy Braddock? It's her brother. And if I think for a second, like look at all of the other characters, Jane Foster as Thor, every time they've ever done the swap thing, it's always returned to the status quo. How could I possibly, in my mind, think, oh, this is great. I'll progress the character of Betsy Braddock. She'll be more popular than ever. She'll be Captain Britain. It comes to an end. It will close. The only time it's ever happened was Captain Marvel. Marvel died and they gave it to Carol. Okay, then. I mean, they gave it to a lot of other people, but it got to Carol and she got the name. Other than that, like I can't fall for that stuff. Tim's in the building. I miss Cloak and Dagger. When it was revealed Venom had an offspring in 360-59, that was a big deal. We're like at issue 900 now. Batman, Superman, Punisher, Wolverine. This is a pokey rap. Chill. I can go on forever, but I don't think you want to read forever. You're right. I didn't even read the first thing that you wrote. I started with anything Spider-Man related, Hulk, FF, and expanded from there. Reading comics makes me smile. It's one of the few things I like on this terrible planet. There's also more to read and learn. Of course, there's more white characters than anything. Hispanic characters that are popular. There's Blue Beetle. Blue Beeter's in the shadow of Ted Kortz because they use Blue Beetle him. I want Jaime Reyes to either be the primary Beetle, and if that doesn't happen, why support something with a ceiling on him? Cisco Ramon, aka Vibe. Hmm. But yeah, there is more white characters than anything else. So I'll be selective on the white characters that I read. Like if the Avengers are being led by a white character, I'll it's the Avengers, so I might be interested in it, but probably not. I got into them like 2018 after the Black Panther movie. I remember reading an old before 2018, around 2013, 2012 maybe. I bought a Spider-Man comic book, and that was my first one. I heard Doctor Octopus was gonna kill Spider-Man. I said, "Whoa!" I saw that on my Twitter. Let me go find a comic book shop. So I googled comic shops. I bought that comic, read the comic. Oh, what about that? I don't even know where that comic is, but I read a comic. I purchased the comic, and then like I got into comics because of the MCU. Right after the Black Panther movie, I'm like I wanted more, so I read Black Panther on Marvel Unlimited, and then they crossed over with Storm and the X Men, and I'm like, ooh, let me read some X Men. Let me read some. Wasn't there a Riri Williams character that they said I heard about on Twitter, and I became a fan there. Read a lot on Marvel Unlimited. Learn more about sales. Shout out Comicron for their historic monthly sales, and you can read and see what's popular and how things move. Learning about actually, it's more so about writers and artists. That's where I got to be focused on learning this industry, and then the drop off of last year where I go, bro, I cannot be buying this much because I just have a whole bunch of filler now. Stories that don't go nowhere. Cloak and Dagger Project would be You're All I Need by Method Man featuring Mary J. Blige. The Need to Stay in New York? I disagree. Daredevil, Cap, Avengers, X Titles, Wolverine, Luke Cage, New Words, Darkhawk. G.I. Joe even? Huh. What's going on, Trinity? Them old 2099 titles. We're not going to live to that long, you know that? Especially you, D. Diesel. What's up, William? Cyberforce. I've never heard of that one. Superior Spider-Man was good, but it went on too long, in my opinion. You can't go too long without Peter Parker. I want to go back and read Heroes for Hire and Daughters of the Dragon. Chill, I've never been a comic collector in my entire existence on this planet. I've purchased 20 comics, give or take. I mostly just read them. You're on those websites, huh? Or maybe you digitally buy them on Comixology. That's what you meant. That's exactly what Terrence meant. He's not advocating for pirating comics or anything of the sorts. So again, Captain Betsy Braddock is nothing. Cosmic Ghost Rider, again, this is a sub character of a sub character. No, and I'm not sure who Stephanie Phillips is. I know the artist is Juan Cabal. I've seen him, so maybe they are semi behind this comic book title. A Doctor Strange comic coming, Planet of the Apes. Oh, they got the rights to that. Bro, David F. Walker is writing that. I don't like that. That doesn't sit well with me. Scarlet Witch and Steve Orlando and Sarah Pacelli. They are behind this character. It appears that her MCU appearances and the increase in stock over there is translating to comics because she has a series, her third volume ever. Dark Web Ms. Marvel, I'm reading, but again, this writer named Sabir Perzada will not be a Marvel writer in the year 2024. He will be on no titles. The stories that he's writing here, good as it may be, and it did actually further some stories. I read issue number 1, and her first villain, that Thomas Edison villain, is used. It referenced old things. But where's this writer going to be? And it sounds like he's a fan of the Ms. Marvel character. Where will this writer be? I got my doubts. But yeah, I'm just talking about whether I'm reading it or not. I'm going to be supporting Kamala Khan. I want this character to win, and I want to be a part of the downfall. Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Cool. Taboo from Black Eyed Peas is the one writing it. Co-writing it. But it's cool. It's cool. Meaningless, but cool. Doctor Strange, Fall Sunrise. It's a no from me. The Golden Goblin. I'm not reading any sub Spider-Man stories. No. Mary Jane Black Cat. What did I just say? If they're not primary Spider-Man, no. And even when they are primary Spider-Man, he's in a rut. He's not advancing. It is filler. It is a guy stuck in his age. He can never gain money or be rich because they'll take the money away from Spider-Man. If he gets a girlfriend and kisses on Felicia Hardy, don't worry, he can't get married. There's nothing that this character can progress really. They're afraid to move Spider-Man along. I've been logging every comic or graphic novel I've read since 2019. It's fun for me to do so. Ah, that's what's up. Black Cat +1. Okay, go ahead. Support Black Cat. We're at Midnight Suns. It's a no. Ethan Sachs and Luigi Zagaria. Don't know these guys. Usually when I got an Italian artist, it's pretty good. Monica Rambeau Photon featuring Eve Ewing. How come her face doesn't light up when I click on Eve Ewing? That's not fair. We got Michael Sta Maria. I'm a fan of the artist. Picking it up, yep. Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. Am I picking up Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which begins on December 7th? The answer to that question is yes. Just because she's black. Different kind of strategy that they're going with this character. She is a youth. They're hitting. Don't expect her to be in some rated R Wolverine big tie crossover. She's not that character. But she's black. Planet Hulk, World Breaker. This goes back in time. I'm not going to read something like this. No. Its level of significance. How significant were symbiote Spider-Man? From when they go back in time and Greg Land, I think Peter David was the writer. How significant was that? Not very. Planet Hulk is the same thing. The Punisher, he's just not my type of character. Sabretooth and the Exiles. Oh, that's an X-Men book. Nope. Secret Invasion. Okay, who's writing it? Ryan North? Wasn't he the same guy who also did Squirrel Girl? Okay, what about the artist? Francisco Mobili. Not familiar with this artist. I know what you think of Secret Invasion. There was already an event. This is just here to capitalize on a new TV show called Secret Invasion. I'll pass. Now, Spider-Man, The Lost Hunt. This is the name of the writer. John Mark DeMatteis. Whatever, though. It's probably not going to be important. I'm not reading Star Wars. Tiger Division. Okay, this is a diversity initiative. They're only giving 5 issues to it. Remember Agents of Atlas, guys? I do. And I remember how you didn't care about that, Marvel. And I remember how those characters went maybe 2 years without them being featured. And some of them are in Tiger Division. And then they'll probably go 2 years without being featured. And then they'll be in like whatever other division. And you'll give up on them. It'll be starts and stops. And the writers they'll be putting on are Emily Kim. No. Ultraman, The Mystery of Ultra 7. Not a fan of this franchise. I know he doesn't really cross over with the Marvel Comics universe, so it's a pass. Wakanda, they're black. No. I'm kidding. It's a yes because they're black. I will be reading Wakanda series. X-Terminators. Extreme X-Men. See my other X answers. Now, upcoming limited series, no to Avengers Beyond and no to Avengers Across Time. Why? Why would I be reading these things? Bishop, War College, X-Men. Nope. Clobbering Time. Maybe. Hallows Eve. I'm not even sure what that's about. But I've never heard of Erica Schultz and I've never heard of Michael Dowling. So it's a no. Hellcat. They really tried hard to make her raising her stock. She was all up in the Iron Man series recently. Don't care. Joe Fixit. No. Hulk is the primary, not this guy. Here's I Am Iron Man. Who's writing it? Murewa Ayodele and Dotan Akandi. If I hear that Riri Williams is in this, I'll read. Immoral X-Men. Tie-in comic, don't care. Nightcrawlers, tie-in comic, don't care. And I believe it's also alternate reality. Why would I support it? The Red Goblin. This is Norman Osborn. This is a sub-Spider-Man character. Pass. Rogue and Gambit, X-Men, pass. Silver Surfer, maybe. Okay, Jaded Fanboy, maybe. John Jennings, who? Valentine Delandro, who? So it's a very low maybe. Spider-Gwen, Shadow Clones. It is a Spider comic, no. It is a Star Wars comic, no. Storm is an X-Men comic, no. Venom Lethal Protector #2 is David Michelini. I'm just not interested in Venom, no. I don't want this character to progress any further, any higher on that echelon. You could even you can convince yourself that Venom is more important than Black Panther. Comic book wise, that'd be the case. No to the Wasp. Oh, they got Al Ewing doing Wasp, eh? Isn't that crazy? High top tier writer like Al Ewing doing a character like Wasp. This guy could be doing the Black Panther series next, so maybe I should shut up. Maybe after issue #4, he'll be on Black Panther. But let's put our top writers on our top characters. And when you got John Ridley on Black Panther, I know how you feel. X-23 is a pass for me because she is a sub character of the X. She's cool. She's cool. She's the X-Men. Greg Pak's Hulk run and Jeff Parker's Red Hulk was the Jeff Loeb. Parker's Red Hulk was the last great Hulk era. I know fans love Immortal Hulk. Hey, don't forget Ed McGuinness's artwork, but not as the good previous stuff. People love what Al Ewing did with that series, yeah. And just buy all the comics and shut up in Marvel. All right, well, if you say it that way, that's it. All right, bye, guys. Thanks for checking me out. I'm out. Read all those. You got to support Frank Rambo. She has a parent, 2 of them. Yeah, you got to support Frank Rambo. If I ever see you in person, do you think it's likely we would have a 10-hour conversation? You would force the 10-hour conversation in person. You can't do that to me over the internet. If I've seen, look at your arms, look at that. You keep me for 20 hours. We would talk though. If I ever met you in person, we'd plan a talk, right? We'd be like, oh, I'm in town. Oh, you're in Canada? Come through. And when we'd chit chat, and I'd know you'd be trying to go really long, right? But what happens when it's 9 minutes and 9 hours, 59 minutes? Are you going to be like, all right, chill, that's it? You probably wouldn't call me chill. You'd probably call me by my real name because we'd be there for 10 hours. Oh, Gray says Spider-Man, groundhog career. Kinda. Groundhog Day meaning like you wake up, it's the same thing over again? Kinda. Let's see here. I don't realize my heart would be damaged during the stream. Erica Schultz wrote one of the worst comics I've ever read. Somehow I'm not surprised. Sometimes in life you gotta buy all the comics, all of them. You can easily afford it. You know I cannot easily afford it. Hey, one day when this channel is where I want it to be, yes, no problem. I might even separate the channel. I'll make a comics division and makes a TV kind of entertainment on movies division. But that is not the case. Joe Fixit is a sub character of the Hulk franchise. I support primary characters without glass ceilings. Let's see here. Love the old Silver Surfer, Infinity Watch, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor stuff. Nice. Jeff Parker took over for Jeff Loeb on Red Hulk. There, you schooled me. I apologize, Tease. I should have never doubted you. I'm gonna just out myself for that, for being wrong. Okay, I'm out of timeout. You got me. That's the stream. 44 minutes in. Thank you all for checking me out. What should I be purchasing? I think we just kind of explained all of the things I won't be purchasing, and you kind of can't disagree with me. A lot of this is not money worth for my goal, which is to progress characters who should be progressed, to cancel out the echelon of white characters up top, to cancel out, to fix, to repair, to diversify, to allow for a world that doesn't only strictly like lead with white people in our entertainment. That's what I would want to do. I know comics are the source material. Comics are where I could get Monica these top tier story writers, these top tier positions, and then when they make the movies 30 years later, they'll be like, yo, you're doing an Iron Man movie, but we're not doing a Monica movie? Yeah, I want her Um, I want Monica Rambeau to be treated like how the Fantastic Four are. How like they have movies all over the place for the FF. Spider-Man's got a movie all the time. I want that, and I can get that through here. Our children's children will benefit, just like all you guys in the 60s and 70s and 80s reading the Black Panther changed the world in 2018. I'm gonna do that for the next character who's not white, and they're actually behind, not just the fake, oh look, diversity initiatives type stuff. I'll save my money on those, and I'll put the money in where it matters. Terrence out. Got Amani Arts saying exactly. Amani Arts. Wait, you say not just some side character in Wanda's story. Amani Arts. Thumbs up. And let's talk about it. Amani Arts. Let's talk about it. That is artist, Amani Arts, and I've communicated with this artist about comic book stuff. I didn't expect you to be here. And with that, I'll let your imagination wander. Don't expect anything this year. Don't expect anything, but she popped in the live stream. Thanks for supporting. You know me. All right, bye.